Buckle down, boys and girls, because here we have another magnificent example of forcefully shoving cards into an archetype. Well, not really shoving, but connecting completely unrelated cards into an archetype. So this is it's not an official name, I know, it's just my take on it. The Manticore of Smashing Fissure. And okay, so yeah, let's just get on with it. A single card from this archetype that ended up being pulled into the archetype due to a new card from Photon Hypernova was used by Yugi, or should I say Yami Yugi, in a grand total of one scene from the filler season 4. And that should about tell you everything. So anyway, we have 4 cards, very small and simple archetype. So let's get on with it. And we start off with the level 6 fire monster Manticore of Darkness, which is a beast warrior at 2300 attack and 1000 defense. And during the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can send a beast warrior, or winged beast monster from your hand or face up field to the graveyard in order to special summon this card from the graveyard. Now, you might actually remember this guy because he was actually the star of the show in generating some infinite loops, thanks to its revival effect not being a once per turn effect. So if you have 2 copies of this, one on the field and one in the graveyard, you can infinitely activate and reactivate its effect to basically generate advantage in some form or fashion. I'm sure there are plenty of effects that actually benefit from this, and the card was ran somewhat competitively in that same vein, but nowadays you generally don't see this guy being ran at all because there's absolutely no point or use to this effect. So let's just move on to the retrain, which is responsible for this whole archetype existing, that being Manticore of Smashing, which has the exact same level, stats, attribute, and everything. And the effect this time is, during your main phase, you can add a Fissure or Smashing Ground from your deck to your hand. And if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one either Fissure or Smashing Ground from your hand or graveyard in order to revive it in the same vein like Manticore of Darkness. However, this revival effect is a hard once per turn. Needless to say, this is an infinitely worse revival effect, and what this card manages to search, well, those names actually do sound familiar because the senior players in the Yu-Gi-Oh community might remember these 2 cards as the prime monster removal from way back in the day. Those being Fissure, which can destroy a 1 face-up monster your opponent controls that has the lowest attack, your choice of tide, again, without targeting, which was a huge deal back then, and even slightly today, I guess. And Smashing Ground, which does the opposite and destroys a monster on the field that has the highest defense on the opponent's field, again, your choice of tide, and again, this does not target. So essentially, Manticore of Smashing searches out both of these things and can banish one of either to basically revive himself just like Manticore of Darkness. And that's all fine and dandy, but everyone keeps, well, by everyone I mean everyone in Konami, ignores the crucial fact that these 2 cards, and especially these 2 cards and also the Manticore of Darkness, haven't been ran competitively in a very long time. So no, this is not going to cause a sudden resurgence unless we get some super great specific boss monsters that or support cards centered around these gimmicks, which might make these cards skyrocket in price, which I highly doubt will happen, so I'm not going to dwell on this for much longer. Anyway, I'm not going to give this grades because, again, this is a tech archetype, if you can even call it that, I guess, maybe. So anyway, I won't bother with the standard grading. But yeah, that was certainly something. I was certainly taken aback when I saw the familiar design and when I read the effect. And I said to myself, alright, I guess I'm making another turbo short archetype analysis, even though you could have adapted some actual archetypes that are still left to be unadapted. You could have adapted the rest of the clear cards from GX, the rest of the darkness cards as well, maybe, or some of the Brains archetypes such as Armatos Legio or the Storm Riders. But instead we get this. I mean, I recently made a top 10 list about things in Yu-Gi-Oh! That doesn't make any sense. This kind of falls into the dual monsters thing again, maybe, even though if it was for one scene. But anyway, I'm harping too much on this. I don't know when the next archetype analysis will be. Maybe sometime next year, given how most of the cards of this year have already been revealed and almost made into real life. Yeah, Photon Hypernova even came out on this very day, which is kind of feels appropriate for me to make this video today. But anyway, I've rambled way too much, so hope you all guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay tuned for more vid focus and updates. Comment, like, and subscribe. Be sure to check out my Patreon when you got the time. Maybe drop a few donations if you feel like it. And as usual, I'll upload the next vid whenever I can. So see you all and have a good day. Peace.